military installations in the north. Helicopters departed constantly from its rooftop pads, ferrying troops into otherwise inaccessible terrain. Beneath its visible military function, however, lay a more secretive infrastructure of psychological operations and deception. According to a 2025 Belfast Telegraph report, one of the most classified features of Bessbrook Mill was a disguised informer room, a fully constructed decoy flat designed to mimic a safe house. With a garage entrance, living room, and kitchen complete with false chimney breasts and decorative fittings, a chilling signature. According to former intelligence officer Fred Holroyd, Captain Robert Nairak not only claimed responsibility for Green's killing, but described it in detail during a meeting in Portadown. Holroyd later recounted that Nairak produced a color Polaroid photograph of Green's corpse, taken shortly after the killing. This was highly unusual. Garda E at the time had only black and white photographic equipment, and no Garda officer in the Monaghan region was known to carry a Polaroid camera. In his account, Nairak explained that he and two associates had crossed the border, watched Green through an uncurtained window, and then stormed the farmhouse, shooting Green repeatedly, emptying one weapon into his body as he lay dying. Forensic reports confirmed that two weapons were used, one of which was later linked to multiple sectarian murders, including the Miami show band massacre. This Spanish-made Star pistol had reportedly once belonged to a UDR soldier, Robert Winters, a founding member of the UVF, who claimed the weapon was stolen during a mugging in Portadown. The provenance of the weapon and its label, and he told me he had lost his cigarettes. He went back and sat down. My husband and I left the pub at about 10 p.m. As we were leaving, the man in the photograph was also leaving. He smiled at us and walked up to his car, which was parked at the top of the car park. I saw him open the door of his car, but that is all I saw. Earlier in the evening, Nairak had reportedly asked a young woman how to cross the border without encountering checkpoints. She passed this on to others in the pub. To confirm suspicions, she was encouraged to invite him to dance. He declined, but instead offered to sing. At around 11:15 p.m., he took to the stage and sang "The Broad Black Brimmer," a Republican ballad narrating the story of a son inheriting his father's IRA uniform and legacy. Despite the performance, locals remained unconvinced. It was a strange choice for someone trying not to stand out, one later remarked. Nairak fails to check in back to Bessbrook Mill at the scheduled radio time. As the night wore on and patrons began to leave, Nairak lingered, chatting with the band as they packed away their equipment. When offered, so concerned were officials about the possible fallout that one internal recommendation proposed abandoning the prosecution entirely if it risked revealing operational details. The trial ultimately proceeded, resulting in multiple convictions. But the episode laid bare the extraordinary lengths to which the British state was willing to go to protect the secrecy surrounding its covert operations. What remains most telling is not only the concealment, but the precision of what was concealed. One internal memo warned, this might lead to a request for the names of the informants, which could not be disclosed. That line alone strongly suggests that the British government knew exactly whom Nairak had been sent to meet, but has chosen never to acknowledge it. To this day, the identity of the intended contact remains unconfirmed, and the objective of Nairak's final mission is officially undisclosed. Yet the accumulated evidence increasingly supports what has long been held in Republican memory. That Nairak's last operation was no freelance venture. It was a planned high-level intelligence mission, one that the British state has worked meticulously to obscure. That disappeared. Toby Harnden, author of Bandit Country, later argued in an Instagram post that the most likely explanation for the continued absence of Captain Nairak's remains is that the IRA deliberately destroyed the body. Writing in Bandit Country, he observed, more than 22 years after his death, Nairak's body has still not been found. According to both Republican and security sources, the most likely explanation is that the body was destroyed by the IRA, either to avoid negative propaganda or due to the severity of the injuries he had sustained. Harnden notes that Liam Fagan, who later joined Republican Sinn Féin after the 1986 split and died 3 years later, is believed to have been tasked with disposing of the body. The secret of what happened